Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the PGS Podcast. I hope you're all well. I know we haven't been on for a while, but it's been, almost 2 weeks now. And the last show we had Will, one of the directors of the PGS, come in and talk to us about stats and allay some of our fears about maybe these stats are being fudged or whatnot. But I'm hoping that after that session, everybody was suitably happy with his responses and there has been no further issues with stats. And he was actually quite helpful with one person who called in to query some of his issues. But listen, welcome everyone. Now, this is a special show this weekend. It's a special edition because we have a special guest on later. But before that guest, we also have a recent PS5 winner of our tournament, the FUT tournament, which we're going to be discussing going forward, the FUT Tourney server, plus the FUT Academy server. And we're also going to be talking to a young chap who has experienced some of our coaching on the FUT Academy. So we're very, very much looking forward to this particular version of the show and progress of the show. Get Cozy to get our guests in. Bear with me 1 second. Cozy, can we get Harvey in, please, our first PS5 winner?
I can indeed.
Harvey, how you doing, mate?
How's it going?
Not bad, you?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Good to see you. Thanks for coming on camera.
No worries.
Right. PS5 winner. How old are you, Harvey?
16.
16. Probably one of our youngest winners. Cozy, can we get that? Can we get that factual confirmed?
Yeah. I think you might actually be the youngest winner of a PGS FUT tournament. So congratulations, and to win it twice.
Man. Absolutely, twice as well. Not once, but twice. Right. So talk to us a little bit about your experience, mate. I mean, how did you hear about the tournament?
My mate invited me, Lewis, to the Discord, and he said just start up. This is my first time as well, so I just joined. And I just played. Nice.
Did you have any inkling that were you confident, or as an unknown entity and the youngest entity as well? Did anyone know how old you were when you were playing them?
Except from Lewis, no. It was only.
Mate. I'm so glad I didn't enter that tournament. But listen, did you got your prize? Yes.
Yep.
Were you happy with your prize?
Yeah.
Of course, you're going to be entering any more FUT tourneys going forwards?
Yeah, I'll get into more FUT tourneys coming forward.
That's very bad news for our listeners. Go on, sorry.
When they come up, I'll enter if I'm free.
Excellent. Well, hopefully you'll be free. Remember, you got that third one to win.
Yeah.
So that'll be a clean sweep. Oh my God! So what did you do with the winnings, mate?
They went in my bank account and I haven't touched them since.
Really? So you saving up, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice. Well, listen, thank you so much for entering the tourney. I mean, was there anything that you feel that we could maybe add to implement to make it a better experience, or were you completely happy with what you experienced?
Maybe a bigger man bracket.
Maybe a bigger
man bracket.
Okay. Cozy, let's make a note of that, mate. Please. But listen, Harvey, thanks for coming on. Do you have any questions for us actually before you go?
No.
Good. That's a good lad. Thanks and congratulations, and enjoy the winnings when you start spending it, mate.
Thank you.
No problem, mate. Take it easy.
Cheers.
That was quality. Well, Harvey, that was brilliant. 16 years old. I mean, I'm very happy I didn't enter. We are going to talk about the FUT Academy. Now, in the last 2 weeks, I'm involved in a FUT Academy myself as a coach, but I've been freely, I must add, I've been coaching a few of the players who have basically put in a request for help. So it could be things like maybe their formation's a bit wrong, or the best formation to get for chemistry, etc. There was a lad that I was coaching initially. He's probably the second person that I started coaching with under the PGS banner officially, and his name is Luke. And Luke's going to join us very shortly to basically talk to us a little bit about his experiences. So we've got Luke in. Thank you very much, Luke. How you doing, mate? Now, I wanted to talk to you about the FUT Academy side of things. I know you are in that server and you were, basically you put a question out. I'm just going to let you tell the story to our audience.
Yeah, so I built a gold team, I think it was, a gold card team, which had, I think it's 50 or 60 chemistry. And it got me to about, I think it was Div 7. It was midway between Div 8 and Div 7, but then I got stuck.
Yeah.
And I mean, playing FIFA was never one of these things I took really seriously anyway. I just played because it's a game and I enjoy playing it. But there's no enjoyment when you get defeats every single time you play online.
Exactly.
And Colsey mentioned to me about the server a couple of weeks before, and I literally just forgot what the server was called. So then on his stream that morning, he mentioned it again, and I actually searched it out and found it.
Okay.
So yeah, and then I just pull a request out because I wanted to get better at playing Ultimate Team, but also seeing if I was sitting on a fortune, which we soon later found out I was.
Indeed. Okay, so I let me sort of I will supplement that going forward. So basically, Luke put a message in the server. Now we have been running this server now for a bit, just to kind of test the waters to see what sort of support we can offer the community, really. So call it an add-on. And I think you messaged, and I don't think you thought you were going to get a response straight away, but you thought, why not? And I responded. We had a chat. I think the first one I asked you was for your team, really, wasn't it? A picture of your team, just to kind of see what your setup was. And as soon as I saw your team, I thought, nah, we need to. I felt I felt compelled to get online and just help you straight off. So I think you were definitely a lucky one, because I think in terms of the time that was spent, and I think if what a lot of FIFA players don't really get is the support in terms of via the community. So usually it's you're having to exchange dollars and pounds before you get any kind of help, kind of thing. So in any case, I asked for your team. You gave me the team. I'll let you tell the audience what I did next.
Yeah, so you saw my team, and for a starter, I didn't have the chemistry, other sniper and things on.
Yeah, you didn't have the right chemistry on the players. Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, so you sorted that out to start off with. Then you changed my formation and used the players I had already there to kind of just set up a basic style. Because then we played, I think it was a couple of games, didn't we? You were trying to see how I actually played.
Yeah.
And then you sort of then improved the team with, I'd say, a lot of players that I'd heard of and seen cards of, but never really had the coins to get.
Right, yeah.
But in a sense, you also told me about Footbin, which...
Yes.
I'll still be honest, I still haven't quite got the hang of using, but
sure.
In essence, because you were there just searching it out, and you basically just constructed me a team.
Yeah, more or less. More or less. With no cash, by the way. No monies, because you had all the fodder in your club. And a lot of them were tradable, which was very juicy indeed, because it meant that we were able to get some really good players.
I mean, we're talking fodder, but there was the Insignia card that I just got. There was we actually sold Van Dijk from my back line.
Yeah.
Schmeichel went.
Yeah. A lot of players went.
It was a Prem team, wasn't it, that I had?
Yeah, it was.
We turned it into a French-Spanish hybrid.
Indeed. I think, just to sort of keep our audience up to date. In terms of your team, now essentially what happens with FIFA is, especially in Ultimate Team, and we are, like I said before, I've mentioned this before, we are going to have a show dedicated to Ultimate Team because it makes sense. But what a lot of people do, and what I find is that it's all about the aesthetics. So they just look at the team and they just want these great cards. But a lot of these cards actually aren't good. And a lot of them, a lion's share of them won't fit into your team. So if I give you an example, the Ericsson card, the FUT Fantasy card. Now, a lot of people don't have that card. Why? And it's very cheap, because it's a bad link. So there aren't that many decent Danish players that you can really put into your team and say, yeah. But ultimately, what we did was we tried to understand what you're trying to do, what you're trying to get out of your playing style. So understanding your playing style, get the team that can support your playing style. And then the next stage will be to understand what each player requires in terms of chemistry. Because there's no play. I mean, I know there are certain players that put fullbacks in the CB positions. I mean, Colsey is one of them. And I'm forever taking the mick out of him about it. But, if you have the right balance and the right team, then you're able to deliver a better gameplay and provide a better competition for your opponent, really. So I mean, how long did we spend again, Luke? I can't remember.
It was around 4 or 5 hours, and
wow, okay.
the team changed about 4 or 5 times. With the fact you went out and wanted Rashford and Ronaldo at one point, and then I was doing squad building challenges, and I'm going to highlight this bit. I managed to get a player pick of the FUT captain, Lacazette.
Big win.
And your whole thing just changed.
Big W. Absolutely. We built a team around Lacazette, but I think, again, this is what I'm saying about the academy. So there are, there are some really, there's some really poignant points that people need to understand. So the thing is, coming towards TOTS, there were these 81 player pick packs that you could do. So if you've got fodder in your team, in your club, just use them. And I think you'd never actually done one of them. And I think I said, look, just whilst I'm trying to build your team, make your time useful and do some of these, because you had loads of fodder. And I think the first two you came up with Lacazette. At the time, he was worth just under 500k. So that gave us impetus to be able to build a team around him. And we managed to do it, which was really good. So, look, this isn't ordinarily going to change your game, improve your game just because you've got better players, but it gives you, a nice little start. And then we went into some co-ops. So talk to me about some of the co-op sessions that we had.
Yeah, I mean, with every co-op, it takes a while for us to get used to each other, and we found it difficult to start off with actually kind of playing. But I think as the team kind of assembled itself, and I think as well, me not passing straight to the other team kind of helped.
Yeah.
The
1-2s, Luke. 1-2s.
Yeah. The co-ops were useful because they showed you stuff that you didn't realize you were actually doing.
Yeah.
Because in essence, you can play in the game, and because you don't actually notice things you're actually doing yourself.
Yeah.
You'll just keep doing it, and it becomes a habit.
Absolutely.
And I'm forever now sitting there going to myself, "You're doing it again. You're going forward too fast." But in essence, I'm now picking up that I'm doing it.
Okay. So I mean, I've got to say the co-op sessions were quite fun because it was really cool seeing the difference in your gameplay after the second game. And I think we had the third and fourth. I don't know. I think we won a game like 6-5 or some silly scoreline. But the most important thing is, and I think I said this to you, that it's not necessarily about the wins. It's about how you feel you've played. And if you feel that you've played well, then whether you won or lost, because look, not only are you competing against your opponent, but you're also competing against EA. So there's always going to be a glitch or two thrown at you, So, I think sometimes you just got to remember that it's not just always about the wins. The wins will come. And I think, so I'm going to let you take over that side because I think you were stuck in that division. After our games were done, I'd left you to it because it's always good to kind of make sure that you play your game so you can understand your own gameplay, but also implement all the things that we've talked about. So what happened after you started playing on your own?
Yeah, so I played I think it was a couple of games and I was still losing. I'm just trying to get into the chat we had because I want to get the actual score up.
Sure.
And I think to start off with, I was just trying to establish the link between Fekir and Lacazette because I saw real potential for my cam to be more effective than my striker Lacazette.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing I missed out was we also set up game strategies to change to one on ultra defensive, one on attacking, which absolutely confused my friend, by the way, when we played on co-op.
Yeah.
I went to ultra defensive and she's like, "Why are you going to ultra defensive for?" I'm like, because that style works better.
Absolutely. So I think he probably thinks you're actually playing ultra defensive, but he doesn't realize that we've customized all the tactics. But anyway, go on.
I managed to win 3 on the bounce in the same evening. So I won 4-1 in the first one.
Okay.
Then I did 8-4. And I mean, I only remember the game now that I've read the score. Yeah. And I think by about 6-2, I was just screaming, "Get in!" Because it's about. It was 2-2 by the last 10 minutes, as in kind of to make the 8-4, and it was madness. It really was. But then the next one was a 5-4, and I made Div 6. And I think what did it was the fact that I understood the movement of the players, and the fact is, now when I was playing it, the players were doing what I wanted them to now, and actually I was seeing where they were going instead of trying to force situations.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I was just really pleased to hear. To be honest, I wasn't surprised that you would get those results, but I was really pleased to hear that you, that you progressed. And for me, obviously, very satisfying. But more so for you, it means that now you're going to pay more attention to certain points of the game, just to help you in game. And I think a lot of people just literally maybe buy pack players, put them in a team, and don't really bother about, because it is time consuming, customizing tactics and making sure that you're comfortable. I mean, if you saw my regime before I even go into the weekend league, you wouldn't believe it. It's crazy, but it's what you have to do to feel comfortable while you're playing a game. Because, like you say, nobody likes to lose all the time. So I'd like to bring Cozy back in because I think he was quite instrumental in in you getting in, and hopefully he has. So in terms of the development that Luke has made, obviously you've introduced him to it. Were you confident that he would get the support required for his game style?
Yeah, 100%. I've known Luke for about a year now. We met through a friendly FIFA league, and Luke's been a part of my streaming crowd for a little while now. Cool. And we play FIFA from time to time. He's played pro clubs with us. I've even played with him on co-op on FUT myself. I've thrown him a few pointers, but I was sat there like, I can help Luke, but I can't coach him. So I thought, well, there's only one guy. So I pointed him your way, and I'm actually thrilled how well it's gone, because not only has he improved as a player, he's now got some confidence, and he's turning up to these leagues and rivals as well, thinking he can win, which is fantastic. So, yeah, it's really good.
Congratulations, mate. Listen, Luke, it was great to have you on. I'm really pleased that you feel that you've progressed. Most importantly, I'm happy that you are happy to continue playing the game, because you feel that you know a lot more now than before. So, listen, keep on going. Our sessions haven't stopped. Obviously, I'm going to help you with the co-op sessions as well. There's always going to be different phases to learning in terms of mechanics and just what type of play style to play in weekend league, for instance, and div rivals, etc. So, listen, thanks, mate. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and look forward to many more reviews from yourself, mate.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Luke.
No problem at all, mate. Take care. Right, that was brilliant. He's a good lad. I think he was. I was very surprised at the amount of time that I ended up spending with him, but at the same time, he made it easy for me to make that happen. So I think again, there are some people who are sort of none the wiser. But for those who are in the server, if you do require support, don't be embarrassed. I mean, we've all started from somewhere. Somebody coached me when I was trying to learn just the basic mechanics of the game. Nothing too extravagant. This is for all level of players. So feel free to get in the server. Cozy will drop the server link in the server Discord in the chat later on. But Cozy, man, what's been your sort of experience within the academy? I know we've had a couple of sessions.
Yeah, I mean, we obviously did a session that we recorded, and I'm doing a bit of editing on for some promo. Yeah, I mean, I learned a lot. To be honest, a lot of it was reinforcing knowledge that I had, but I kind of forgot about. Like you were talking about making players make runs off the ball and things like that. It's all things that I know I should do. It's just things that in game I just forget to do.
Absolutely.
And the support in the server is incredible. Like someone tags you and asks you a question, it's answered like really quickly. And I think it's just so important how active the community is.
Indeed.
And it's not just about teaching you the game, like the gameplay. It's also about trading and stuff that'll be there soon.
Exactly. Hence why there's, like I said, there's many levels, to it. But I think a lot of people are more interested in just obviously gameplay and more wins. But sorry to interject there, Cozy, but there's a question that's been posed in the chat. But Zach, isn't it a bit late to get help in FIFA 22? It's a very good point. No, the simple answer to that question is no, it isn't. It's never too late. I think with TOTS coming in, there's going to be a different level of playing now. So, you're not going to just sit there and wait the next 3 or 4 months for FIFA 23 to come. And when 23 does come, I'm suitably advised that the mechanics aren't going to change that dramatically. So, for instance, we've got pro clubs in 21 and pro clubs in 22. The mechanics have changed dramatically. So, if you were a goalkeeper, for instance, in 21, you're not a goalkeeper in 22. A lot of the players that I played with who are GKs and the last one, or even CBs, are no longer playing a position. They've learned other positions. So it's just about the mechanics of the game. But to answer your question, no, I don't think it's too late in a game. But then also, I think people are wanting help to enjoy the game more. I mean, like Luke says, no one likes to lose. I mean, I think he'd lost quite a few games. I don't want to put a number in it because obviously he's still listening. So, but he lost quite a few games, and it's depressing. I mean, if I lose 2 games on a bounce, I break a controller. He lost way more than that, and he was happy just to come and ask for help. So that's something I respect a lot. And at the same time, more than anything, the help is free. So why not take advantage of it? That's what I say. Please bring on the questions. Looking forward to them. Kingsley, thanks a lot for posting that link. And just to I just wanted to just to bring it back a bit. We wanted to talk about the FUT tourney. I don't feel like I gave Harvey enough of a platform because of all that stuff that was going on in the background. But Harvey, if you're still listening, mate, listen, big congrats. I was a little bit taken aback by how old you were because I know there are some very good players in the PS5 server chat. So well done, and we want to get you back. But in terms of that experience, what did you think about his feedback?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he won the tournament last week and then obviously last night as well. So he was thrilled. Like, the guy's 16 and I've been talking to him away from the server about his experience, and the guy's bank account is looking very golden with his tournament earnings. He's an upcoming talent. And we're very lucky to have players like that amongst our community.
No, absolutely.
But he's so humble about it. Like, when you talk to him, he's not arrogant about it. He's the way he presents himself in person is very different to the way he does in Discord. In Discord, you wouldn't think he was that humble. But
fair enough.
That's the competitive side of people, isn't it?
Well, I mean, this is the thing, and obviously with winners of the PS5 tourney coming on, we're hoping that we can get more numbers, which is what I believe Harvey wants. He wants a bigger pool. He wants more numbers, which obviously will mean bigger prizes. So, that Discord is buzzing right now. If you're not in there, please get yourself in there. All the links will be dropped into the chat a bit later. But, we were a little bit underwhelming with regards to today's show earlier. I wanted to make sure that everybody was aware that it was a special edition show. And, without further ado, we have got a guest in our studios. He's waiting to talk to us. His name is Czohino. So Czohino is basically, at this moment in time, the second best FIFA player in the Global Series e-Premier tournament. He recently performed there, came second, best placed. But, I watched all the games and he was remarkable. In fact, I think what made it even more remarkable was the fact that he was an unknown entity. Didn't really come with a hype. He just walked in there with his Brentford top on and absolutely bedazzled. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce him onto the show. Feel very honored to have him on. Czohino.
Hi, Zach. You're right there. Thanks for having me on.
No problem at all, sir. I bet you're actually playing in the background as well, and you can't help it.
Nah, I was just listening in, really.
Nice. We had a few blunders earlier, but listen, we're back. This is a live show, so we expect blunders and we expect little hiccups here and there. But ordinarily, we've been talking over the last few weeks. I really wanted to big you up because I think I've been watching those global series over the last 2-3 years. I think most of us, anyone who was trapped at home during COVID, definitely became a fan. But what I wanted to talk a bit more about was, I looked at some of your prelims and some of the journeys pre-hand, but how comes you managed to navigate through this whole journey unknown? How's that possible? for someone that good? So please explain that journey, the experience pre the tournament, and obviously the experience at the tournament.
I mean, obviously, I've most likely been unknown. It's obviously my first year competing, so I haven't competed at all. Pre this year, so obviously no one would, obviously no one knew who I was going into anything. Yeah. So like from the club playoff at the Brentford Stadium, obviously to get the chance to represent Brentford, even there I was a big underdog as well. Those are those like known pros there and stuff, but obviously that went well. Obviously I went unbeaten there. Then a bit more. Obviously I got a bit more known there. Obviously Brentford posted it, and then obviously I did a lot of contact with Brentford following that, leading up to the E-Prem, which was cool. And then obviously at the E-Prem, in the UK scene is very good. There's a lot of top pro players. So obviously naturally all the attention was on the big names, former winners, former runners up and stuff like that, which obviously makes sense. And I didn't really going in there, I was confident in myself in regards to I knew the work I'd put up leading to it. So I didn't feel like an underdog to myself personally, even though obviously like I'm a quite quiet person, so I didn't want to make any noise and stuff. Even like when first games on stage, scoring goals and stuff, I'm not really.
You went, and everyone else. It's quite vocal this year, man.
I'm not really into that. Like I don't really celebrate much. I'm not a loud person, so I just kept, we just got our business. I think for day one was surprised because our group was meant to be one of the groups of death, if not the group of death. So like we had hard games in there, so like a lot of teams were expecting us to be like bottom of the group and stuff. But obviously we won our first two games and went straight to the top of the table, and then that kind of showed us, had a little intent, and then we finished the day strong. So I think it was unbeaten in our group, and then so obviously, and then after people started talking a bit more, of course, it's surprised we got out the group. So I guess that got some attention because obviously we wasn't supposed to get out of the group. Obviously we believed in ourselves, and Sam as well. Obviously played crazy as well, and then obviously to the Championship Sunday. I'll be honest, the nerves were crazy. Like so like obviously practicing and playing online is one thing, but playing it in a big event and on TV and stuff, like it's a whole different ball game. Obviously, I feel like half of it is mentally. Like obviously, every day is really top anyway. Every day is really skillful and stuff. So it's only little details that also define games. Obviously, we did quite well in regards to our games. We kind of won most of our games with a quite comfortable lead, apart from the draw game. So like on Sunday, first game on 11 o'clock. Which was a bit of a weird one because I didn't want to be first on because I kind of wanted to wake up, watch somebody else play kind of thing and get a feel for it. But we were first game on, but it was cool. We was confident. We beat Aston Villa, played some top players on that.
I watched that game. I watched that game.
That was, and then obviously that gave us confidence. After we won that in quite controllable fashion, I thought like we won it quite comfortably. But I think like we both won our games. I think I won 3-2, Sam won 3-1, so we won quite well. And then obviously we had to play Crystal Palace in the semi-final, which were like them and Liverpool with like obviously Liverpool having Tex and Diogo and Liverpool having FUT with Ethan.
How did they not get through? How did they not? I mean, Cozy was saying,
they were the favourites, but I mean for us, a lot of us obviously Crystal Palace was strong as well, if not as strong as Liverpool, and obviously like Nick Snebb and Ethan are also like I've watched them over the years when I've been watching it as a casual player, so I knew their level and their pedigree. So once Liverpool got knocked out, obviously everybody said Crystal Palace were the big favourites. Obviously naturally so, I guess would make sense after looking at obviously Tex obviously being the big favourite and stuff like that. So then that was also like a big game because we knew we had to play Palace. But we were confident in regards to like we knew we can just we were chilled because obviously like there was no pressure on us, so we just said go into the game, we'll play our game. We're attacking really well, so like we know we're gonna score. Obviously Sam drew his first game 0-0, which was a surprise because obviously like him and Nick Snib, all their games leading up to are quite high scoring games.
Indeed.
So that was a surprise, and then obviously realizing that obviously I'm going to the second leg of a 0-0 knockout semi-final against Stephen, who's like really experienced, who's been at these stages before.
Very experienced,
So like, and then obviously like the whole crowd was like, obviously because obviously Ethan's obviously been here, the whole like the players there, everybody was sitting, and all the families and fans all were like supporting Ethan. So I could hear it all and that, like leading up to it, like, come on, Ethan, all of this, all of that.
No.
But I was just trying to stay calm, trying to stay composed, just play my game. Obviously, like I knew Ethan was good, but obviously I knew that, I'm playing well. So it's just one game and one leg of FIFA, anything can happen. That semi-final was a bit disappointing because obviously I took the lead. I felt like I could have held on, but I didn't find second goal, and obviously eventually he equalised, and then they did a coin toss, and then obviously Xbox played again. They went to penalties. Sam won on penalties. So we got through to the final quite dramatically. But like I felt like it was one of those like big moments for us in regards to getting through the semi-final. Get to the final was the big step, because obviously we really want to settle. Because every time we got through, everybody said, "Okay, yeah, they made another big step. They must be so pleased and so happy." But I was like, "No, like we want to keep going. We're not here to
keep going." Exactly.
Yeah. We're here to go all the way. Obviously, fortunately, we didn't go all the way. Disappointing, but like I said, it was one of those things like big experience, like some of the best moments I've probably had in my life, to be honest. Regards to like, so obviously I've watched the Prem before, and like I was wanting to play in there, but actually playing there and play well in there was crazy. So it's just one of those things, and I just want to obviously do it again, get there next year again, and experience that again. So that's a big motivation, having experienced it.
Absolutely.
And that's going to obviously drive me to try go back next year. Hopefully do a bit better next year.
Absolutely.
We'll see what happens.
Let me guess. Sorry. Let me just cut through to our chat. So we've got some questions for you. The first question is, Czohino, would you class that the first big event you've been to? I would assume yes, because it was the first time.
For me personally, no, I'll probably say the Brentford club playoff was probably my first big event, because that was also in a stadium, also like quite pressurized. So
sure.
That would also, for me personally, that was a big. The Brentford one was a big step for me personally, because I hadn't played anywhere in person before. So I'd say the Brentford club playoff before the live finals was also a big event for me personally. Yeah.
Nice. And another question we have here from Kingsley 224 is: would you say that going into the event without being known helped you go in there swinging and had no pressure from the crowd? Do you know what? I thought I was going to read something else there, but I'm glad I didn't. So, So would you say that the pressure of not being known, being an unknown anomaly, because I know it's something that the commentators made a big deal of. Obviously, watching from the other side, you get to hear it. I mean, you probably weren't hearing that, but they kept going on about how much of an unknown entity you were. But I guess the reason why they went on about it is because you were doing very well, but no one knew you. Obviously, if you're an unknown and you get out the first legs or whatever, no one would know. But is that something that's a big thing for you, or is it just something that everyone else is talking about?
For me personally, I don't really like. Being unknown or being known doesn't really matter to me. Like in regards to like, it doesn't affect how I play or anything. Like I feel like if I'd gone in there being known or not known, I would have felt the same, because obviously I've got a lot of personal pressure on myself. Like I said, leading up to it, I was working hard, so there was still pressure for myself. I mean, I know obviously if we went there, lost every game, no one would bat an eye kind of thing, and there wouldn't be no like, you didn't perform or that kind of thing. I guess that helps, not having that kind of, no pressure in regards to people expecting you to do well. But obviously, personally, I expect myself to do well, so there was still the pressure there. And I obviously they kept going on about it and stuff like that, which obviously makes sense. Like I said, we wasn't supposed to get out the group, get quarter final, get semi final, get to the final. So like, obviously, it made sense. It was a big shock. And I guess it was, just one of those, those stories that just happen and stuff. So it was cool. Yeah. I guess I liked it. It was cool. It was nice not being known and surprise people with what I could do and prove my level. And obviously for me, the whole, I was trying to prove to myself really, as opposed to proving to everybody else that okay, I deserve to be here, because, no one's there when you're grinding, no one's there when you're practicing. So only you know how good you are, and it's just nice to be there to prove it. And
that's very good. That's that. Do you know what I've got to say? Obviously, I appreciate you have to prove it to yourself, but having been privy to a lot of your games, I mean, okay, just to give our viewers and listeners an example. So I tuned into Czohino's stream, I think it was a few nights back, and basically Czohino said to me in the past that Div Rivals is just too easy, and I know why now after having seen him play, and there's just no point in playing it. So he tends to play a lot of these mini tournaments at night. I think you did the FUT Champs when I was watching your stream. And I don't think you lost a game. Now, I started watching from about, 10 or 11? I can't remember. And you streamed up until about 2 a.m. in the morning. And I did not experience you lose one game. And I think you played back-to-back games. And there was a point where you were on your phone, and I think the game has started. And the guy had already got into your area of the pitch, and you were like, oh. And then you took the pad and you scored. I'm like, what's going on here? Like, am I watching? Is this real? I was shaking my do you know what I mean? So obviously the levels are different, but I mean, what is it? Obviously, the question I want to get onto is: you got to the final. You felt that did you feel that you were in the present and you gave everything, all your skills in that final? I mean, what were the reasons why you felt that you lost in that final?
The final was tough. Like I felt like we didn't play well in the final. It's a mix of we played well and they played better than us kind of thing. I feel like
Sure.
I don't want to take away from Norwich. I think Damien Gold Butcher are great players.
Yeah.
Obviously the losing. Obviously Sam lost the first leg 3-1, so that was like a 2-goal deficit. So already my game had already changed from if it wasn't a nil game. I would have also played. I could just played my game, taken my time, build up my attacks how I wanted it. But obviously, already being 2-0 down against Jack, who's showed through the tournament he was very good at holding leads. So it was tough. I felt like I didn't get into the game. I was a bit disappointed in myself personally. I felt like I didn't really put up a good fight. I felt like I didn't pressure enough, just because he just obviously took care of the ball really well, and I just didn't. When I had a few chances, but nothing like nothing I would class as it should be a goal kind of thing. So that hurts and that does haunt us because we thought we could have gone all the way, honestly. And obviously I don't know. I can't really say it was nerves because we'd been in that situation. I don't know
exactly.
So I can't tell you what it was really.
But I think, like you said, I mean, you mentioned that the fact that you had a 2-goal deficit to make up, that changed your whole strategy. So I'm assuming you've had to wait. Was it a case of you're trying to kind of stick to one thing that you got to do, or was it just all scrambled because I'm going in as trying to survive?
it was scrambled for 2 reasons. One of them is that I know Jack, so like the person I'm playing in the fan, I play with Jack all the time. So that makes it hard. I can't really surprise him with any attacking tactics in regards to going all out attack. So that makes it one, and also because I know Jack, I know he takes care of the ball well. So I know like every time I have the ball, I have to score, and I feel like I put pressure on myself. I wasn't patient in my attack and my approach. I felt like I was too rushing, and I had time. Honestly, like when I look back at it now, I wish I had more calm and more experience about it, and just said, look, it's 2-0 deficit. All I need is 1 goal in each half, and one, and not concede. Obviously, that's another thing. But like, I just need 1 goal in each half, and we're level drawing field. But obviously, being a bit inexperienced and stuff, the moment got to me in regards to I was in a rush. I just wanted to get goals ASAP kind of thing. And I guess that's part of the learning curve, as part of the journey. And like I said, I just want to say again, obviously Norwich played really well, so obviously they deserve to win. See if they're better than us. But like, I mean, there wasn't a game plan, and the other unfortunate thing is because all weekend I hadn't been in that situation. Every game I went into, it was either we were winning or it was a drawing level field. So I hadn't been in a situation, so I hadn't even had any tactics set for constant pressure. So like I hadn't had any thought of if I'm 1-0 or 2-0 down, how am I chasing this game out? Every game I was going into, either I had a lead to defend or I had just play a 0-0 game where I got to go and just win normal. So that didn't help. I hadn't had that situation, which was, I guess, just one of those things. Like
it's experience. It's experience, man. Yeah, I mean, it's your first event as well, so I know you are gonna sort of kick yourself, but ultimately, I think, listen, the aftermath, and I guess that's the next thing we're going to talk about is the aftermath since the event. What you felt that support has been like, the reviews, the testimonials, people talking about you, and obviously, importantly, your future shaped within this particular scenario in this industry. In terms of sponsors and things like that. I know, there's a few things you may or may not be able to say, but what do you feel that the event has done for you? And by the way, just a quick shout out, Czohino, I mean, like I said, I've had the privilege of watching the games, and if you haven't, please go on the YouTube and check it out. And yes, shout out to Norwich today, because that final game was a very, very good game. But Czohino is probably, for me, one of the best wing players you will ever meet. So if he manages to get you on a wing or a byline, it's good night Vienna, in my opinion. And I think, for me, when you talk about tactics and strengths going forwards, there are so many different things that I think you could have taken from that you're going to take into anything else. And I think the next question here is, do you think you can take that disappointment and turn it into fuel for the next event? Of course you can. But that next event's coming soon, right?
So in terms of like what it's done for me, I feel like it's changed a lot of things. I mean, obviously, I've always wanted to to try and get to that level of being a pro, knowing that I'm at the level. So obviously, like I said, I proved it to myself. I know the level I can. I showed, but I know I can do a lot more. So now it's like I've got a lot of motivation to keep going, to keep trying to improve, get to another level, try get a career out of this, and be at those events for a few more years. I want to enjoy it again. Next year, and obviously even this year, there's one more FGS in May that I'm trying to prepare for. And get ready for that. So I've just been, like in terms of like, obviously I had so many like client messages from like pro players and champions that I've watched, and it was cool, to hear from them.
Good.
Telling me I've done well and I should be proud of myself, and there's a bright future ahead, and all that kind of stuff was crazy. And also from like other just like general casuals and stuff, people like a lot of people from like obviously I had like young black players messaging me saying, oh, it's great to see somebody like that looks like me, that kind of stuff. I meant a lot. I never really thought of it like that. I never thought it was that big a deal. Honestly, I just like I enjoy playing this game, trying to win things, make money out of it, etc. Obviously, when you get that kind of side of it, I've always had a lot of kind messages from a lot of people, and like following's gone up and that kind of stuff. It's been crazy, really. It's been surreal. It's one of those things like kind of work hard for it and it's actually happened.
Absolutely.
So that's really cool. And then obviously going forwards, it's like looking at, I'm a free agent, so it's looking at finding the right organization to join, and progress for next year. Get ready for obviously finish this year strongly, and then prepare for next year, where obviously I'll hopefully be close enough to being a full-time player, and I can put all my focus on FIFA and try to be at as many events as possible, because I think next year there'll be lots more live events as well, as opposed to like online ones. So it's like, I'm looking forward to try and improve. Just honestly just go up another level or two, and get to obviously be at those events again. And obviously one day, hopefully, like the dream is to become a champion one day at one of these big events. So that's what I'm striving for. And that's just my where I'm at right now. I just want to figure out what's next, what's best, and just take it like that.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, it was a very politically correct answer there, Czohino. Thanks for that. I appreciate it. But what I will say is that I feel that we've got a winner already. So I'm pretty sure that in the next year or two, we'll be having another interview with you as a champion, mate. A lot of the games that I saw, honestly, different quality. In fact, I just felt, and this is just, I'm sure I'm not the only person who's watched those games, but obviously, even when Tex won his first event, I said the same thing. I said the level that he showed was just above everyone else's. And I think in this particular event, the commentators made a massive deal about you in terms when they were commentating. I don't know if you heard it, but it's like, this unknown guy, what's he doing? It's just like, it was crazy. But I think that whole sort of, that whole motivation would give you massive impetus for the next events. And I know you're going to do very well going forward. So just finally, I mean, what sort of things are you looking? So what's the next thing now? So after all this is done, I mean, are you looking to make decisions anytime soon? Have you given yourself a target? And when that is set, what are your targets for the year? I know there's an event in May, but is there anything else coming up that you are keen to get involved in?
I mean, right now, in terms of decision making, in regards to like where I'll go and stuff, in terms of hopefully joining a good organization, it's like I'm probably gonna probably stay free agent until after May. Finish that tournament. After that's the last major event for myself on my calendar. Hopefully perform well there, and then I can look at what what's available, and hopefully come to an agreement with somewhere where I'll feel valued and they can help me progress, and I can obviously help them and do well for them in their colors. So obviously that's what I'm thinking right now. Right now I'm just trying to focus on playing, practicing, improving, growing my stream, my Twitch as well. That's the main thing I'm trying to work on at the moment. I've been advised by a lot of pro players and stuff that a big thing is to grow your Twitch, grow your platform. So I'm working on that right now in terms of my content, keeping up the practicing and the little cups during the week, during the days, just trying to improve as much as I can. Because I don't feel like I'm anywhere near where I can be. So I want to get to that level. So that's what I'm working on right now. And then obviously after May, FGS4, hopefully do well there, and then look at the offers available, and then obviously come to an agreement after that, and then hopefully plan for next year. And then obviously after May, I'm still going to work on my content as well, because there's still a little while left of FIFA after that event. Absolutely. So just work on content. I'm doing like one right now. I'm doing 100 pro clubs challenge with the other pro players, so that's something cool we're doing.
Okay. So we do pro clubs as well, do we?
Yeah, of course. After all my team, after the season's over, there's still a lot of things to do. So I'm gonna do pro clubs. I'm gonna try and make a little pro clubs team with some pro players and win some tournaments as well. Stream, just getting content in and just trying to enjoy it after the hard work. Still enjoy. Obviously, I still enjoy the game. I don't just play for FIFA for money and stuff. I enjoy playing FIFA anyway. Yeah, that's another thing. And then just planning for obviously then after that, enjoy the content, create as much good content as I can. Obviously, win some nice tournaments hopefully, and then just plan for next year. And just try to be in a place where I feel like start rest, and then next year is like the big one, because I feel like after breaking through this year, if that's what I can say I've done, next year I can hopefully be in a position where I can start from the front foot and just try progressing and have a good year next year. This year was like, I feel like was just trying to, like the bedrock of, the process of the future kind of thing.
Absolutely.
So hopefully I think I've done that. And I mean, I won't be surprised next year anymore if I go E-Prem, so that kind of thing. So I want to go, you know what I mean? So I want to go there and be prepared and stuff. So that's what I'm just thinking of right now, and that's just the thought process at the moment. Yeah.
No, nice. Well, I mean, the PGS will be watching very closely, I'm sure. And obviously, we'll continue to have our chats every now and then. But I think, most importantly, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk to somebody who finished second with such a massive. There was big competition, and no one even, if someone put £1 in you to come second, they'll be rich right now, mate. I'll tell you that now for free. And I'm actually not happy that I didn't put that £1 down. I should have. But so we've got that event. Was it May 26th? Isn't it the next series?
Yeah,
event?
May 24th, 25th.
May 24th, 25th. Yeah. What we're looking at for that particular event? Is it looking like a saucy one? Do you think you got a good chance?
Obviously, online events like that they're the hardest ones because it's a bit of a random process of the matchmaking and stuff. Obviously it's 20 odd days, so I mean I've been working hard, feeling. I mean I'm much more confident than I ever was after leaving E-Prem. I'm confident in myself, so I'm not putting on any targets regards to I want to finish here or there. I just want to perform my best for the last one and give a big push. And I have a feeling I'll do well and surprise again, but. Obviously, I won't, talk too much. Obviously, like I said, obviously, only hard work. So just work hard, go there, perform, and then obviously after it, we'll see what happens. But I'm feeling good in regards to I'm confident in my level right now. I don't feel. I feel like I've made big strides this year, and just want to go out, essentially with a bang and finish in a strong position to reflect, what's been a very good year for myself personally. So that's what I'm just working towards. So yeah, we're looking forward to. Hopefully, there's a saucy event.
Nah, well said. Well, in the wise words of Micah Richards, you definitely burst into the scene, mate. You definitely burst into the scene. I ain't gonna lie. But listen, have you got any? I mean, you've got a Twitch channel. Can you tell us what your Twitch channel is so we can get our audience to follow? Yeah,
it's just Czohino, so especially how my name's spelled in here without the C. So yeah, on there, trying to do daily streams, usually late at 9 o'clock onwards, really. So I'm streaming a lot. Building my team a lot of pro games. So I'll be playing against a lot of top pro players you probably heard of. Trying to practice with them. I play a lot of clubs every other day, pretty much. Actually, there is an event I'm playing in London. I think. Also, I forgot to remember about that. There's a TVT tournament I'm playing in. I think it's next week or so. So that's a live event in London. So that one, I think. That's looking forward to that as well. So I'll update on that. Feeling confident for that one actually. Twitch is something I want to work on, improve, grow a community, and hopefully it can help guys improve as well. While I'm improving that kind of thing, I'll go for a lot of my gameplay as well. I'm always eager to learn. So like I said, it's a long way to go. So yeah, if anybody, Twitch is there. I'm gonna keep growing that, working on that. That's a big priority for myself. So thanks for having me, Zach.
We've got your. It's all good. Sorry to interrupt you, but we've got your Twitch in the chat. So definitely follow Czohino on there. He streams it every night. I mean, I'm involved in watching. It's very, very it's enjoyable to watch, trust me. But listen, Czohino, it's been an absolute pleasure, mate. And also, when the season's over for you in terms of these competitions, when it's pro club season, I'm going to send you an invite to Team Street, mate. Get you involved. Me up front is nothing.
Yeah, I'll look forward to that. That'll be great, man. That'll be great.
No problem. Listen, Czohino, it's been an absolute pleasure, mate. I want to thank you for coming on board, taking the time. And I look very much forward to working with you in the future. Fingers crossed. But most importantly, I look forward to watching a lot more of your streams, mate. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a good one. Thank you.
No problem. Take it easy. Right. Well, that was Czohino. An absolute first for us. Great guy. Cozy. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like I said, I've been watching a lot of his streams, and this guy is a different level player. In fact, I've been quoted on here as saying that Joker, one of my friends, Joker, he's probably the best player that I played against. But I think if and when Joker does play this guy, I think he's just a different level. But everything he's saying that he wants to do, I mean, he's a very humble guy as well. So I follow his streams honestly. In fact, there's some sessions where we might even get him to help us out on the FUT Academy with custom tactics and some gameplay sessions. So. Czohino, I want to thank him again. He's very busy. Usually these times he's streaming, so he's taking time out to talk to us. We look out for those tournaments in May, but also we look out for his decision and who he goes with once he decided after May. But yeah, Cozy, I mean, what did you make of his journey in that global series?
I I remember talking to you and the Chiefs in the chat saying Liverpool are the team to beat, and then I saw that they got knocked out, and I'm like, dude, they've literally got like one of the best FIFA players on the planet.
It was crazy.
Like, how? And and seeing this guy playing for my local team. Well, growing up, Brentford was the team down the road. They were down in League One. Just to see them in the Premier was amazing. And then to see him come second place to arguably a very, very good team. So
it's very, very good team. But I've got to say, I didn't give Sam enough props. Sam Brewster, his partner, his playing partner in the game, he's a very good Xbox version. He's very good. Very, very good. So that 3-1 loss was a bit of a surprise. So, I mean, when he was saying about his whole mental sort of state of mind had to kind of change in that last game, I can see why that was a mental block for him. But because of that experience, I believe that he'll be better for it. So it was a pleasure having him on. And I'm really glad that he has managed to give an insight as to what happens. Because I think they play something like, I don't remember how many games they play in the prelims, but he mentioned the Brentford when they play in the stadium to compete in it. That's probably a lot more daunting because it's your local. So if you're not doing well in your local, what are you doing kind of thing? So fair play to him. So right, Cozy, we're going to go straight into go back into the FUT tournament. So in terms of the recent winners, we've got Harvey, who obviously won the most recent one twice, double winner, similar to Joko, who's a double winner as well. But also, we would like to shout out the PS4 winner.
Yeah, Ali Sabat. He couldn't make it on today. He's over in Egypt, bless him. But he won the PS4 tournament. So I started up a series. It's called the Wednesday 9 series. And what that entails is weeks 1 to 8 is qualifiers. The top 2 qualify for the finals. And then in week 9, they enter into a competition which is for double the prizes of all the qualifiers. And there's only 16 of them. So it's the best of the best.
Indeed.
And the only rule on that is if you qualify for the final, you then do have to sit out until the final. But that's pretty standard in these sort of events. Massive shout out to him. He's a very, very good FIFA player. And he's, again, very humble. All the winners we've had, I think I've only had 1 or 2 that are, I was always going to win this, blah, blah, blah. No, these guys that, since coming back, the guys that have won it they've been next level, and their humbleness has taken me back. So a huge shout out to everyone that's played, and especially the winners.
Absolutely.
And showcasing our tournaments really well.
Indeed. I can't sort of speak any highly of what Cozy has done within that particular server, just to refresh and give reinvigorate the whole server and make sure that the tourney is running structurally well and right. So, and fair as well. I'd like to remind all our players as well. I mean, if you've been a recent winner or a previous winner, in the past, feel free to come on and talk to us about your experience, because the whole point of that is to help us or help the PGS, implement some changes that may be better for the tournament and for your experience as well. Or just ideas that we could supplement or add to what we're currently doing. So don't be afraid to come on. We're not scary. Well, I'm not. I know I can't speak for Cozy, but come on. I mean, Harvey, thank you so much for coming on and talking to us, because I think also some some Devil's Advocate believes that we don't, PGS don't really give out these prizes, but they're very much alive and well. So we want all our previous winners to come on and just say hi. Tell us a little bit about the experience of winning it, especially if you're a double winner. If you've won it twice, I mean, Joker's been on. All our double winners have been on, basically. So we expect everyone to come on and chat to us, and we hope that you enter more of these tournaments. What's the next? When's the next tournament, Cozy? I believe that's tonight.
The next tournament is in half an hour. We've got 16 out of 16 players, and they're all ready to go. I was in the tournament myself, but a lad, he messaged me and said, "Can I play tonight?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll take my place. I'd rather you play than me." I was just playing to make sure we had the numbers. But it's really, to be in a position where the admins don't have to step in to play is fantastic.
Absolutely.
The first couple is a bit ropey, getting back into it. But we're there now, and we've got full tournaments. PS5 was full yesterday. Wednesday was full. So there's some really cool stuff coming up.
Absolutely. Also, if you've got any budding sort of admin, if you're passionate about being an admin, you're a very organized person like myself. I'm not an admin, but I'm an organized person. But if you're a very organized individual and you're keen or curious about what the PGS do in terms of admins, or you've experienced managing servers, please get in touch because we are in need of a few. In terms of updates, I know that we have I'm just going to do a quick roundup. Cozy, if I can get you back, that'd be great. We just do a quick roundup of, so we had the tournament. We've got a tournament in half an hour. Is that a live show? I'm assuming the final will be streamed on the PGS platform. If not, someone will stream that. Please get involved in there. I'm not involved because I'll be playing pro clubs, unfortunately. But the tournament's going to be good. What are the prizes again, please, Cozy?
So the winner will receive 1,600 FIFA points.
Perfect.
Or if they would rather their cash equivalent, that is also okay.
Indeed. So get your bank balances out and send your account numbers, and we'll send you that cash when you win. I think in terms of the tournament, I wanted to make sure that we shine a light on that FUT tourney server because it's been very busy over the last few weeks, and it will continue to be busy over the next coming weeks. The FUT Academy, again, any support that you would need, please feel free to get in touch with us. We had Luke on earlier talking to us about his progress. I think just to sort of be specific about those numbers, I think he lost between 15 and 20 games before he came to us. So that gives you a good picture as to how much of a progress he's made and the fact that he enjoys it a lot better now because he's playing it more. What else? Do we have any more updates there, Cozy? Future tournaments after this particular one?
Well, we obviously got the Wednesday series again, the Wednesday 9 series this week.
Yes.
But we will have Xbox tournaments returning to the server after a few months off. They will be back. So if you're an Xbox player, do get involved.
Yes.
Just message me directly on Discord or within the server. And as soon as we've got, as soon as I think, we've got enough to run a tournament without struggling, then we will put one on and the prizes will be good. So, we will cater for all. And look, let's even throw it out that if I had enough PC players, I'd even run a PC tournament. So it's all there. It's all down to you guys to enter.
I'm sure James will be happy about that one. He's been banging on about his PC team for a few weeks. But yeah, so I want to quick shout out to, in fact, I just want to say quickly, I've been absolutely killing it in the leaderboards this week, the last couple of weeks, but we won't go there. We'll move on strictly. Quickly move on from that. But yes, so we've got the tournament coming up in about half an hour, guys. Get involved in that. There's a Wednesday 9 series that's coming up. And I just want to thank all our guests for coming on. Harvey, cheers, mate. 16 years old and living life. Living a bit of loca. Very good. Luke, well done, mate. Thanks for coming on to have a chat with us. And Czohino, good luck in your next events. I'll be looking at I'll be watching some of your streams a bit later on tonight anyway. And our next show will be in 2 weeks' time. Obviously, you will get all the information and updates through your relevant servers. And we will be doing the full team of the week. So there'll be a few leagues that are starting off restarting. And a couple of leagues ending as well. So hopefully we'll have some roundups with some tots and some team of the weeks, a full roundup of team of the weeks. And until then, Cozy, thank you so much for your help today, mate.
Thank you.
It's been another good show. I'm so glad that we had all our guests on to talk a little bit about their experiences and have a good evening. All those playing tournaments tonight, good luck. And I'll see you again in the next 2 weeks. Cheers.